Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are back on the crack. That's the Acidus crack. This map we've seen lots of times on the channel and a lot of 1v1 players really like it. Even though it's quite large for a 1v1 map, it really taxes your kind of attention span to be able to control, in essence, 4 separate locations as well as your base in one go. If you're new to the channel and haven't seen this map before, it's signified by the big crack in the middle that separates this section here and this section from each other, completely stopping any type of units passing through that whatsoever. Even all-terrain units, I think, may be unable to pass there. That might not be true. I have to see. Some of these players built them. And then also you've got the lower and upper paths on the north and south side, which are separated by these hills that will block radar, so it will be difficult for both players to be able to have full radar coverage unless they make use of those high grounds for radar. And then obviously in the bottom right hand corner here, weird line there, there's 2 metal points on this high ground that are completely only accessible via air. Now let's look at our players for today. We have new to the channel, Kitty Danger in red, playing as Cortex today. They've also chosen to go bots here with a very weird build order. 1 constructor, then 30 grunts, another constructor, 15 grunts, another 15, then 20, and so on. That's quite a lot. And as the initial scout here comes in from rAndy, will it be able to accomplish much? Probably not. There's plenty of grunts out by this time to pretty much stop scouts being able to do anything. Now, our opponent for Kitty today is, as we've already mentioned, rAndy, going Cortex vehicles today, and already got queued up a very large amount of incisors. And you're maybe saying to yourself, well, Rec, why are you not calling him Andy or rAndy or whatever? Well, after all of your comments constantly saying how it's spelt one way or spelt a different way, I actually reached out to him and asked, hey, how do you actually pronounce your name so that I can get it right? And he did confirm that it was, he saw it as being pronounced as rAndy. So that's what we'll use from now on. Now, instantly we can see here a bonus that the bots are going to have rather than these incisors. As you can see, the incisors cannot move over this terrain. Anything that's basically pink is completely impassable. So they'll be able to move through this middle hole, but not around this hill, which, if I press the right button, as you can see, it can be a big advantage for Kitty here. Now, incisors are pretty strong, and Andy dealing very well there, peeling off the low health incisor that he did have. But you can see losing 3-4 grunts, and then not a single incisor was killed. So, but that's what we expect from Andy. Sorry, from rAndy. Old habits die hard, clearly. rAndy trying to heal up the incisors that he did get damaged, which is kind of quite a bit of micro to be used, to be honest, to do that. He's also trying to blockade his northern side and then use the incisors he had, just got repaired, to help defend his base. But at the moment, he's got a lot of terrain to cover and not a lot of units to do it. Now, I'm not sure the exact numbers, but incisors trade favorably into grunts. So, as we're about to see right here, maybe, as this grunt is trying to stay out range of the incisor, but the incisor does have better speed, and we can already see that it's managed to catch up. But one grunt does manage to sneak through, getting some good economy damage, taking out 2 metal extractors. It will get a windmill, and now The key thing is here, by going up on this high ground, none of the vehicles can make it up there, leaving just the commander to go clear it out. And that is going to be big, because this metal extractors now are going to be completely inaccessible. And also, by spreading up so many grunts, he is able to do tremendous damage. Kitty doing huge amounts of damage to the base of rAndy here. Taking out pretty much most of the wind production. And now managing to get behind and cause even more problems. rAndy's commander just being off to the right has made it so that the base is pretty undefended. Incisors are desperately trying to get around here, but the base now at, well, the factory itself at 20% health. And Kitty desperately trying to focus it down. And the factory does get destroyed. That's quite a big loss at this very early stage to lose your factory. Now, obviously, rAndy has a decent amount of metal extractors across the map, but for rAndy to be this pushed back this early on is something I don't think I've ever seen before. Incisors are doing their best to try and hold on, but the sheer quantity of grunts here just causing rAndy trouble left, right, and center, and still not being able to get up top here, causing even more problems. Now, in theory, if rAndy rebuilds the lab on top, you can see where it's yellow, you actually get a bit of a discount on building the factory. I can't remember exactly what it is. But that might be explaining why he's not instantly rebuilt the factory. Now, it's not like end of the world situation because he's got other metal extractors. He's actually got 6, 7 other metal extractors, and he is rebuilding these pretty quickly here. But the longer he leaves this, the further behind rAndy is going to be. Now, one thing is Kitty isn't kind of really making the most of this right now. I say that there was actually a transition over to vehicles and some incisors, so I would argue that now they are trying to make the most of it. Still going for even more build power, which is kind of surprising. rAndy still not rebuilding his factory. I'm kind of curious. Is he trying to... Oh, the construction turret's just eating up all the metal anyway, so that doesn't matter, the previous statement. But he's running really short on units, and in any moment, there is about to be a very large group of incisors from Kitty coming right over, and he's only just rebuilding the factories. Realistically, he needs to go straight into brutes or maybe pounders here to try and re-secure his perimeter, because right now he does not have the units to do that. But instead, he's going straight into incisors. There is a decent chunk of LLTs on the right to defend, but still 2 metal extractors gets destroyed, and so does a... well, Minimal doesn't get destroyed in the end. The construction turrets here trying to help turn the tide by constantly repairing the units, but being attacked on multiple sides here, not able to get enough units up. And we're about to lose a construction vehicle here, maybe. Oh, just manages to survive. But all the construction turrets die, as well as the base yet again. And Kitty really, really piling the pressure on here. rAndy's really, really struggling. He has lots of metal and no way of using it. Maybe would have been better, rather than trying to rebuild the factory here, as when he was commander was here, is just instantly trying to rebuild it here, because at least it had the had it up and building stuff. Still just trying to pile out construction turrets to get build power up. He's now going to try and use his commander to defend. This will be a lot easier, especially if Kitty groups up tanks like this. And that was a lot of dead incisors. But still, more wind damage being dealt. Lone construction vehicles were going to get taken out as well. It's not like Randy has the time here to get a construction vehicle out and start building wins. He is holding on for dear life whilst trying to build up something, but really, really struggling. Meanwhile, over towards Kitty's side, Kitty is just pumping out economy. We can see energy-wise really, really far ahead. Energy produced 69% ahead. Metal produced 25% ahead. But realistically, with this much territory taken, I don't understand why Kitty isn't expanded like this. He's been doing so much, but has not really sent anything out to expand. Like, building so much energy when you're fine on energy. You've got 1, 2, 3 construction vehicles, 4 about to work on energy. Like, expand, get more metal extractors. Focusing probably mostly on the aggression here and microing of units. Doing a tremendous job at keeping Randy contained. But now with a transition over to full brutes from Randy, it'll be interesting to see how long these incisors actually stay relevant. There's not quite enough brutes yet for it to make a big difference. A self-destruct there, though, does cause a lot of incisors to get destroyed. And I need to quickly, temporarily put my Steam on quiet because you guys are just going to hear a multitude of pings. There we go. And Randy unable to retake the initiative in this game yet. Still hasn't recapped the stuff on the top or even the ones around the side. And Kitty just doing a tremendous job here at containing Randy. Randy unable to send units out himself to try and do some own harass to resend some units, but what he is doing is slowly expanding with his commander down the middle, literally the thing that Kitty hasn't managed to do. And now even more of the metal extractors of Randy getting destroyed here as this force manages to make it round the back. And it's just being chased by brutes that just can't quite catch up. And so much energy production has been destroyed by Kitty so far that it's really, really got Randy struggling. And here we see a bunch more wins going up. An attempted self-destruct of an LLT there fails to find its mark and actually losing multiple metal extractors because of that. Now, continuously applying this pressure does have its positives and negatives. It is potentially risky by leaving so much reclaim in your opponent's base. If they're able to get control of it, is a big problem. However, the constant aggression here is basically not letting Randy have that time free. But slowly but surely, Randy is starting to spread out. We can see that his commander is now in the middle of the map. There's a lot of metal extractors completely uncontrolled. Kitty's not sending any units up there. He's only just starting to send some tanks up there. But the advantage that Kitty had early on when it came to units is going smaller and smaller by the second. Army value is currently 11% difference, which is not a lot when you consider that Randy has basically lost his base twice. Metal production is still fairly even. The most important factor right now is probably metal produced, because that will also include Reclaim. This one expanding construction vehicle, though, is taking a lot of heat and may actually get killed or just survives. But we do see now Randy finally able to make a bit of a move of his own. This one single tank, all that left of the expeditionary force, and it will probably get maybe this metal extractor, and then the LLT should finally kill it. LLTs are not super effective versus these, but managing to get the radar as well. That will cause some problems, except for there's already one there, so maybe not. Now, Randy's commander in a bit of a precarious situation here. Is surrounded by LLTs, but without enough energy to fire said LLTs, you can see him desperately running for his life, as all of those LLTs did not have the energy to fire. Now, if you are new to bar and aren't aware of it, basically each of these ones, when we select it in the bottom left, shows 20. Each shot of that laser requires 20 energy. If you do not have 20 energy, it cannot fire. This only affects laser weapons. These are plasmas, so they don't require energy to fire. But the ground that Randy did take is being slowly abolished. Bit of a raid going on by Randy himself, but not really able to make much leeway. Really needing more energy production right now. Has so much metal. If we quickly check the statistics, really well at managing his metal, though. Only just starting to excess, but losing a lot of build power constantly. Kitty doing a tremendous job at keeping Randy in this corner. And I hear shurikens. Oh, there they are at the bottom. Now with units just to his north, to his left, and to the south, Randy needs to spread his already shattered forces thin, trying to defend multiple locations. The north is very well defended there, but this force just off to the side of his commander is looking pretty dangerous for him right now. With his commander with not enough energy to effectively degun, it's relying purely on the repairability of the commander to keep the incisors alive. Meanwhile, using his other force here to try and keep the other tanks down. But finally, we see Kitty spreading out, taking more of the map. Most of the southern side of the map is now under Kitty's control. And with the addition of shurikens, it's going to be pretty difficult for Randy to be able to keep up. And one brute does manage to break through on the north side. And Randy is yet again down to only a few metal extractors. And good focus fire here from Kitty, focusing down the incisors, or at least attempting to. Incisors? Sorry, pounders. And to be honest, the overwhelming damage that Randy received at the beginning, I see it being extremely difficult for Randy to get back from this. And as the shurikens come in, they will not be enough, actually. Randy's commander, though, at 41% health, desperately hanging on for dear life. And this tank force on the bottom here is about to get EMP'd. Randy must have realized that. He tries to run them back. But it's not really going to matter here, as Randy's base is about to get completely destroyed again. Missile trucks have been built to deal with the shurikens, but again, just a little too late. And with this massive combined force here of Kitty, it's going to pretty much be the end of the base yet again. And even though there is a almost 10 OS difference between these two players, Kitty has been absolutely annihilating Randy this game. But we see a bit of a hesitation here in committing. Randy going for a D-gun, managed to get one tank, second. Gets a 4 in total, but down to 35% health. Base still getting hit by lots and lots of tanks. Not many forces left, and with that, Randy calls the GG. I mean,
battle ended.
That was ridiculous. I have never seen Randy struggle that much. Kitty did an amazing job there containing him, and just proves that even though grunts don't trade favorably to incisors, that all you've got to do is try and hit as much ground as possible, and you can just overwhelm your opponent. What a tremendous play from Kitty. Well done. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.